Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A delivery driver just trying to do her job, attacked and verbally abused by a man who just didn't want to wait for a package. Hank.
The people of Flint now have a new legal avenue to pursue in getting justice and also money for the people of Flint affected by the water crisis. I'm going to take you inside the investigation coming up.
A very big name in the UAW's recent history is accused by the feds of stealing from union membership to pay for vacations. And we'll start there this evening. The corruption went all the way to the top, and it went on for years.
That's what we learned today as the U.S. Attorney's Office filed a felony charge against the former UAW President Dennis Williams. Williams rose to prominence within the union starting as Secretary-Treasurer in 2013, became president the following year and held that role until 2018. He's the 15th person charged in the UAW corruption investigation, a list that includes another former president, that was Gary Jones. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney live tonight with more on the accusations and the reaction from the union. A lot of this just got to be getting old to them, though, Rod.
It is, Devin. There's no doubt about it. And it's amazing how time flies. It was a year ago tomorrow that the FBI raided Gary Jones' home. And at the same time they did that, they went out to California and they raided Dennis Williams' home as well. Well, Gary Jones is now headed to prison having pled guilty, and it looks like Dennis Williams is about to follow. May 24th, 2018, Dennis Williams said goodbye to Detroit with sad irony.
American workers have been handed a short stick for a long, long time.
He was talking trade policy then. Now he's charged with giving his own membership the short end of a very expensive stick. He's charged with one count of conspiracy to embezzle union funds. He allegedly lived the lifestyles of the rich and famous with former UAW President Gary Jones and former Region 5 Director Vance Pearson at a sunny Palm Springs resort, staying in Gulf Villas in early December 2016. Then a months-long stretch there in 2017, and then again at the end of that year. Total allegedly taken more than $71,000. U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider calls it stunning.
The level of greed, the level of disrespect and treatment of workers like they really don't matter because you've decided to take their money and use it on cigars and booze and airfare and expensive lavish villas. It's really, it's disheartening.
The UAW is looking to move on, and in a statement today said, quote, any violation of Mr. Williams' oath of office and his responsibility to oversee our members and their sacred dues money should rightfully face criminal penalty. Today's development is a sad day for UAW members, but it is also a humbling day of truth and justice, demonstrating that no one is above the law, end quote. Now, Schneider has been talking to new UAW President Rory Gamble about whether the government should take over the UAW. They're in negotiations trying to figure it out. But one of the things that Schneider said to me today that he's most concerned about is the way they picked the leadership, because Gary Jones was chosen by Dennis Williams, and that choice was done in a way that baked it into the cake. Even though he was elected at the convention, it was done before the beginning of that. The government wants to see that stop right away. Back to you.
And Rod, we've talked before, though, about the union was building an up north summer home for Williams, right?
Right, and you might have expected to see something on that in the charges, or the information really is what they put out today, because there's an expectation of a guilty plea. But the union has put that house up for sale. There's a lien on it right now, so they're waiting to try and figure out the disposition of it. Yeah. But there are no charges related to that. It's just the union wants to unload it. It looks like they have a possibility of being able to sell it.
Interesting. All right, Rod.
Hours after Hurricane Laura officially made landfall, we are getting a closer look at the trail of damage left behind. The Category 4 storm came ashore near Cameron, Louisiana around 1 o'clock this morning. It's now been downgraded to a tropical storm. So far, the death toll stands at 4, but that number is expected to go up. About 800,000 people are without power tonight, with thousands of homes and businesses either damaged or destroyed. Louisiana's governor says the traditional way of providing shelter en masse to those who need it just is impossible right now.
Quite frankly, because of COVID-19, that shelter shouldn't look like it normally does, where we have a big open space and we're putting multiple families, maybe hundreds or maybe even a couple of thousand people in the same shelter. We're going to need to quickly transition them into hotel and motel rooms, which have been filled up with people who've evacuated on their own.
Adding to that demand, power crews and other volunteers who've come into Louisiana to help will also need their own hotel and motel space. Laura has weakened considerably, but is still causing some problems.
Let's check in with Ben for a look at what is left of the storm and also our chance for local storms tonight. Ben?
Yeah, those storm chances for us are going to ramp up in the next 24 to 36 hours. But first, this is Laura, or what's left of it. It's very tough to even see the center of this thing, but there's still quite a bit of rain moving through Arkansas. Even though that's been moving north, sustained winds right now 50 miles an hour. It will start turning more to the east here in the next few hours, rolling through the Ohio Valley, and eventually it's going to be all the way out into the Atlantic by Sunday morning. So it will be in a hurry to get out of here. Rainfall estimates have been over 7 inches in some spots along the coast, even further inland, and also up towards Arkansas as well. We had a line of showers move through here with some thunder early. That's kind of all faded. Most of us should stay dry until overnight tonight, and then tomorrow a slight risk for severe weather as we head into the mainly second half of the day. Temperatures still in the 80s through about 10 o'clock, humid 2. We'll talk more about our storm threat for tomorrow in just a few minutes, guys.
Well, an Amazon driver is attacked, sprayed with mace on Monday, and she's trying to deliver packages in Ann Arbor. Today, police are investigating and will be charging the man in the video. Nick Monticelli reports all of this started because the man was impatient and didn't want to wait for his package.
It's absolutely unbelievable what happened to this young lady. Of course, she was racially profiled. She was maced. And just wait until you hear how long the man would have had to wait at the apartment complex for his package. It was barely anything.
Right, me mace.
This is the tail end of an attack happening at this apartment complex in Ann Arbor. Africa Lucas, a 26-year-old delivering for Amazon, had just pulled up. It was her first stop of the day.
2 guys are already at my window. So I roll my window down, I ask them politely, how can I help you? And then when I asked them, how can I help you? He was like, do you have a package for 35 such and such? And then I'm like, okay, sir, if I do have your package, give me a second. I just pulled up here. I have to go on my back and sort my stuff out. And then he goes to say, I just want my package. And that's what he kept repeating.
We won't show his face until he is charged, but Lucas says he started swearing, calling her a nasty name, then dropped a racial slur, the N-word.
And then he kept repeating himself. So after he said it several times, okay, then honestly, I did. I hopped out the van.
That's when Lucas started recording on her cell phone, and this man pulled out mace.
Your package. He kept walking up to me, spraying it. It already got on me. And then that's when he started just spraying. And he was spraying me for so long. It hurt. And that's why I started screaming so loud. All I started doing was screaming on the top of my lungs.
When she screamed, he ran off. Ann Arbor police already know who this is, a 27-year-old who does not live at these apartments, making you wonder why he's trying to get a package there. The Washtenaw County prosecutor is looking into charges, possibly aggravated assault. The racial slur could be a factor, too.
I don't know if you thought it was hysterical to keep saying it. No, I don't take that lightly.
I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Oh, can't believe what she had to go through. Well, now get this, for some perspective. Once that mace wore off, Africa checked her packages. She only had 2 for that area, so the man would have only had to wait like a minute or 2 for her to sort them all out.
Real. A big decision in federal court could mean big money for the city of Flint in the future. A federal judge opening the door to residents being able to take legal action against the federal government over the water crisis. Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester is here now, and this is big news for the people of Flint. Hank.
Devin, this is huge. It is unclear what, if any, legal action could be taken in the future, but as it stands right now, for the people of Flint, they now have the option to go after the federal government. Flint, a city still struggling years after the water crisis was first exposed. Recently, a settlement deal reached with the state of Michigan. $600 million will be making its way to Flint. And now a big decision in federal court. The people of Flint may have yet another new legal option.
It creates the opportunity for them to be able to collect from another, maybe even more powerful entity, which is, the the federal government.
Legal expert Neil Rockine taking us inside the decision from the judge, which would allow the people of Flint to take action against the federal government. Agencies like the EPA that were criticized by some in the medical community for not acting sooner to correct the problems in the Vehicle City.
This is really one of the first hurdles that the citizens of Flint have to get over, and the judge has said that they can make it over.
In her opinion, the judge saying the harm increased every day residents drank, fed their babies formula made with contaminated water, and took showers in lead and bacteria-infested water. And while the EPA did take action to help correct the problems and help the people of Flint, the question will be, was enough done early on to fix this? Could something have been done to protect innocent people and children from the invisible danger in the water? And in that 88-page written ruling from the judge, she makes it very clear that she did see a lot of progress and big changes made to help the people of Flint once the problems were exposed in the Vehicle City, but also lays out the case that there was a big chunk of time when the people of Flint and their problems were being ignored. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank.
All right, Hank.
A very expensive case of vandalism in Macomb County. See what someone did to an important piece of safety equipment that belongs to the sheriff.
And let's check in with Paula.
It's back to school day for about 5,000 students. We're going to give you a first look inside the classrooms at West Bloomfield School District.
As Metro Detroiters face back-to-school uncertainty, Local 4 is here to help. Get advice from parents, teachers, and medical experts. Join Steve Garagiola and Sandra Ali for an Education for All special. Live Monday at 10 p.m. following the Ford fireworks.
In school, out of school, hybrid, technology, everything has changed. What you should do when it comes to going back to school on a budget.
Tomorrow at 6 a.m.